There's something undeniably magnetic about a Scorpio. You can't quite put your finger on it, but when they enter a room, the energy shifts. It's intense, focused, almost dangerous. But what if I told you that this energy, this deep, silent force, is exactly what gives them the mindset of a millionaire? This isn't just astrology fluff. This is ancient archetypal wisdom fused with modern psychological insight. Scorpios don't chase wealth. They transform pain into power, betrayal into wisdom, and scarcity into strategy. That's the Scorpio way, and today, we're going deep. Here are the first 5 of 29 millionaire secrets only Scorpio souls truly understand. Gemstone secret number 1. Power is earned in silence. Scorpios don't announce their goals. They work in silence, plan in the dark, and only reveal themselves once results are undeniable. In the world of millionaires, this is a game changer. While others broadcast their dreams on social media, Scorpios quietly build their empire brick by brick. They don't need validation. They need results. A Scorpio's silence isn't emptiness, it's preparation. Magnifying glass tilted left personal insight. I once worked with a Scorpio startup founder. For a full year, no one outside his inner circle knew what he was working on. Then, boom, a 7-figure launch with 0 ads. Just trust, loyalty, and silent strategy. That's not luck. That's Scorpio. Gemstone secret number 2. Emotional pain is currency. Scorpios are ruled by Pluto, the planet of death, transformation, and rebirth. This makes them highly attuned to emotional pain, but instead of running from it, they mine it. Pain becomes their greatest teacher. They study every heartbreak, betrayal, and failure like a researcher dissects data. They don't avoid discomfort. They use it to build emotional armor and unshakable clarity. While others break under pressure, Scorpios crystallize. Magnifying glass tilted left real-life example. Think of Marie Curie. While not a Scorpio herself, her relentless obsession with invisible forces mirrors the Scorpio trait. Many Scorpio entrepreneurs dive into businesses that fix the very pain they once endured, turning wounds into wealth. Gemstone secret number 3. Trust is their currency and their weapon. Scorpios don't trust easily, and for good reason. They understand that in both love and business, trust is the foundation of power. A Scorpio millionaire will test loyalty quietly. If you pass, you're family. If you fail, you're invisible. This trait makes them powerful deal makers. They're not swayed by charm. They're looking for authenticity, for energy, for truth behind the words. Scorpios don't hire resumes. They hire vibrations. Magnifying glass tilted left example from the field. A Scorpio CEO I consulted once refused to work with a highly qualified marketing firm, simply because something felt off. A year later, that same firm was exposed for data fraud. Trust your gut, they say. But for Scorpios, their gut is an X-ray. Gemstone secret number 4. They know how to walk away. One of the rarest millionaire skills? The ability to walk away from deals, people, or projects that no longer serve your higher vision. Scorpios excel here. When they sense toxicity, betrayal, or misalignment, they don't fight. They disappear. No drama, no warning, no second chances. Just gone. This detachment is power. While others cling, Scorpios evolve. If it poisons their peace, it doesn't survive their path. Magnifying glass tilted left life lesson. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. Scorpio millionaires know their worth. They don't beg to be seen. They become so unignorable that life has to make room for them. Gemstone secret number 5. Control the inner world, control the outer world. Scorpios are masters of the mind. While others react, Scorpios reflect. They understand that mindset is not just positive thinking, it's shadow work. It's confronting jealousy, anger, greed, and transmuting it into laser focus and ambition. Scorpios' power doesn't lie in how loud they are, but in how deep they go. Magnifying glass tilted left personal take. I've seen Scorpio clients use journaling, meditation, and even isolation retreats to reshape their mental blueprint. They do the inner work that most people avoid. That's why they're not just rich in money, they're rich in wisdom. Gemstone secret number 6. Obsessed with mastery, not mediocrity. Scorpios don't do just enough. They're either all in or completely out. This black and white approach may seem extreme, but it's what drives them to master what others only dabble in. Millionaires aren't made through multitasking and shallow effort. They're made through obsession. And Scorpio's nature is inherently obsessive, but in the best way possible. What others call too much, Scorpios call necessary. Magnifying glass tilted left case study. One Scorpio I coached was in real estate. While his peers focused on closing quick deals, he spent months researching zoning laws, building codes, even psychology of color and home staging. His sales? 300% higher. Mastery pays. Gemstone secret number 7. They are strategists, not dreamers. While other signs float in daydreams, Scorpios are building blueprints. Every step is calculated. Every decision runs through their internal risk assessment system. This isn't fear, it's precision. Scorpios don't just think about what they want. They ask, what will it cost me emotionally? What's the power dynamic at play? Who benefits most, and who holds the leverage? Millionaires don't just play the game. Scorpios design the board. Magnifying glass tilted left example. A Scorpio fashion designer refused to launch her brand until she understood supply chain margins better than her suppliers. Now she owns 3 factories. That's not luck. That's strategy born from relentless planning. Gemstone secret number 8. Their loyalty is their leverage. Once you've earned a Scorpio's trust, they become your fiercest protector, ally, and amplifier. This quality is rare in high-level business. Most people are transactional. But Scorpio's emotional depth creates tribal bonds, not just contacts. This makes them powerful community builders. They don't build followers. They create movements. Customers become loyal. Teams become family. Partners become legacy. Scorpios don't build empires alone, but they're very picky about who builds with them. Magnifying glass tilted left real example. A Scorpio crypto founder I knew gave 30% equity to his co-founder, not based on credentials, but on 5 years of proven loyalty. That startup hit $60 million in valuation. No one quits on a Scorpio they trust. Gemstone secret number 9. They monetize mystery. Let's be honest, Scorpios are seductive. Not just romantically, but energetically. They know how to create curiosity, tension, and anticipation. This is a golden asset in branding and sales. Millionaires understand one thing. What's mysterious becomes valuable. Scorpio energy isn't loud. It's magnetic. Their brand doesn't scream. It pulls you in. This makes them masters of luxury branding, high-ticket offers, storytelling that keeps people hooked. Mystery isn't hiding, it's marketing. Magnifying glass tilted left practical tip. A Scorpio coach I know never reveals the full details of her mentorship program. No PDF, no price list, only invitation-only interviews. She books out 6 months in advance. Exclusivity sells. Gemstone secret number 10. They turn rejection into redirection. Scorpios have a unique relationship with rejection. It doesn't break them, it sharpens them. They don't beg for inclusion. If a door closes, they'll build a tunnel beneath it, or set up their own building entirely. They understand something most people don't. Rejection is information. It shows you where not to waste energy. Scorpios don't fight for space. They create their own dimension. Magnifying glass tilted left true story. A Scorpio artist was rejected by 17 galleries. Instead of quitting, she began documenting her process online with raw vulnerability. 2 years later, she's a YouTube sensation selling direct-to-collector commissions. The rejection? A divine redirect. Gemstone secret number 11. They don't fear rock bottom. They rebuild from it. Most people fear failure. Scorpios? They've already been there emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's part of their karmic curriculum. That's why they rise stronger each time. Because they're not afraid to let things die. Business failed? Let it go. Partnership ends? Thank it and release. Scorpio knows that every ending fertilizes a new beginning. From the ashes, they rise, and this time, with wings. Magnifying glass tilted left deep insight. In astrology, Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, represents destruction, death, and rebirth. Scorpio millionaires don't just bounce back. They return reborn with a sharper vision and unshakable focus. They don't rebuild the same, they evolve higher. Gemstone secret number 12. They never over-explain themselves. Scorpios operate with this unspoken rule. If you get it, you get it. If not, they're not going to beg you to understand. This mindset protects them from wasting energy. They don't feel the need to justify their intuition, decisions, or boundaries because they've already weighed the cost internally. The millionaire Scorpio doesn't pitch their worth. They embody it. The wealthiest people speak the fewest words, but every word is charged. Magnifying glass tilted left example. One Scorpio CEO was questioned during a board meeting about why he delayed a major partnership. His answer? A 7-second pause, then it didn't feel right. 2 months later, the partner was caught in a tax scandal. Lesson? Scorpio doesn't over-explain because their radar already knows. Gemstone secret number 13. They turn intensity into influence. Scorpios are often accused of being too much, too intense, too focused, too emotional. But what the world sees as excess, Scorpios know is fuel. They don't dilute their energy to be palatable. They channel it into art, business, leadership, and transformation. This intensity becomes a force that inspires, awakens, and magnetizes. Scorpio doesn't tone it down. They raise the temperature of the room. Magnifying glass tilted left personal insight. I once mentored a Scorpio speaker who used to be told she was too aggressive. Instead of softening, she embraced it, turning her keynotes into emotional roller coasters. She now charges $25,000 per speech. Intensity sells when it's channeled. Gemstone secret number 14. They understand the power of emotional withdrawal. Here's the truth. Scorpios may give deeply, but when they sense they're being manipulated or disrespected, they can withdraw their energy like pulling the sun from a flower. This emotional detachment isn't cruelty, it's discipline. In the Millionaire game, this is crucial. They don't stay where they're not valued. They don't argue for attention. They remove access and refocus their power inward. Scorpios don't slam doors. They vanish, and the silence is louder than any goodbye. Magnifying glass tilted left real story. A Scorpio investor walked away from a startup he helped build for 3 years, simply because the new leadership didn't respect his vision. He withdrew overnight. A year later, that startup failed because they lost the energetic backbone. Scorpio's absence is a statement. Gemstone secret number 15. They are shadow workers. Scorpios aren't afraid of darkness. In fact, they study it. While others run from shame, guilt, envy, Scorpios look them in the eye. They ask, why is this here? And how do I use this? Millionaire Scorpios do inner work that most people avoid. They unpack childhood wounds. They explore their triggers. They study the parts of themselves that sabotage success. And then they transmute all of it into fuel. They don't just chase the light. They become it by first making peace with the dark. Magnifying glass tilted left psychological edge. Shadow integration gives Scorpios an unmatched resilience. They're not shocked by betrayal or failure. They've rehearsed it in their psyche. That's why when crises hit, they remain composed. That stillness? It's born from shadow mastery. Gemstone secret number 16. They use solitude as a strategy. Unlike most, Scorpios aren't afraid to be alone. In fact, they thrive in solitude. It's where they recharge, plan, and realign. While others chase noise and external validation, Scorpio millionaires seek internal clarity. They don't make major decisions while distracted. They retreat. They cut out the world until their intuition rings loud and clear. Solitude isn't their prison, it's their palace. Magnifying glass tilted left tactical use. I knew a Scorpio e-commerce founder who would completely disappear for 3 days before every product launch. No phone, no meetings, no noise. Just thinking, walking, journaling. His launches were always perfectly timed. Why? Because he made space to hear his own wisdom. Gemstone secret number 17. They play the long game. Scorpios are not into fast cash or fame flashes. They're legacy-minded. They'll sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term power every time. This makes them excellent investors, builders, and empire architects. While others get high on vanity metrics, Scorpio is quietly accumulating assets. Not just money, but influence, control, and positioning. They're not playing checkers. They're playing 4D chess with time itself. Magnifying glass tilted left real-world impact. A Scorpio woman I coached launched a publishing company, knowing it wouldn't be profitable for the first 2 years. But she saw the long-term intellectual property value. Year 3? 7 figures from licensing deals. Everyone else thought she was crazy. She just had vision. Gemstone secret number 18. Their intuition is sharper than any algorithm. Scorpios have a sixth sense that borders on psychic. They may not always know the why, but they almost always feel the truth before anyone else does. While the world leans into data, trends, and market analysis, Scorpios lean into gut instinct. And they're often right. Unnervingly right. A Scorpio doesn't guess. They sense. Magnifying glass tilted left real story. One Scorpio entrepreneur turned down a seemingly perfect investor. Everything on paper checked out, but something felt off. 6 months later, that investor was exposed in a fraud case. Trusting your gut isn't just woo-woo, it's wise. And Scorpio lives by it. Gemstone secret number 19. They master the art of emotional alchemy. In high-stakes business, emotions are currency. Most people are either emotionally reactive or emotionally numb. But Scorpios are different. They feel everything, but they own what they feel. And then, they use it. Fear becomes strategy. Jealousy becomes clarity. Anger becomes fuel. This is emotional alchemy, and it's the inner game that separates millionaires from the masses. Scorpios don't suppress emotion. They process, then profit from it. Magnifying glass tilted left practical insight. A Scorpio negotiator I worked with knew her competitor was driven by ego. So, in meetings, she subtly gave him wins to keep him emotionally high, while quietly securing the deeper long-term contract behind the scenes. That's alchemy in action. Gemstone secret number 20. They attract both envy and loyalty and know how to use both. Scorpios have an aura that's hard to ignore. Some are drawn in, others are threatened, but no one stays indifferent. This polarity creates two powerful forces, loyalty and envy. And Scorpio millionaires know how to navigate both. They use envy as feedback. What are people projecting onto me? They reward loyalty with unshakable protection and access. A Scorpio doesn't fear envy, they study it. Magnifying glass tilted left example. A Scorpio content creator built her empire by staying silent amid drama. She didn't clap back, didn't explain, she just kept delivering. The envy eventually burned out. But her loyal fans? They became advocates, defenders, clients for life. Gemstone secret number 21. They never waste a power dynamic. Power is subtle. It's not in titles or bank accounts. It's in the unspoken. Scorpio understands this like no other. They read body language. They feel energetic shifts. They sense when someone's faking confidence or silently panicking. In meetings, they'll remain quiet, just long enough to make others fill the space with nervous chatter. In negotiation, they'll let the silence stretch until the other side folds. Scorpio doesn't speak to be heard. They speak when it moves the needle. Magnifying glass tilted left business tactic. A Scorpio real estate investor once offered 20% under asking price, then said nothing for a full minute. The silence was so uncomfortable, the seller countered themselves downward. That's not luck. That's power management. Gemstone secret number 22. They work from the inside out. Scorpio millionaires don't focus on fixing the world first. They start with their inner architecture. Every day they examine their motives, reset their focus, eliminate distractions, question their own ego. This makes their growth inevitable because it's coming from clarity, not chaos. If the inner world is messy, the money won't stay. Magnifying glass tilted left spiritual practice. Many successful Scorpios swear by practices like journaling, shadow work, emotional release techniques, or even silent retreats. Not to be spiritual, but to stay mentally clean. Clarity is their ultimate productivity hack. Gemstone secret number 23. They are unafraid of being misunderstood. Here's what makes Scorpio dangerous in the best way. They don't need the crowd to clap. They don't chase agreement. They're fine being misunderstood if it means staying true to their vision. They'll invest when no one believes. They'll leave when everyone's staying. They'll build in silence, alone, knowing that one day, they'll be the ones people ask for advice. The Scorpio path is lonely, but it's sovereign. Magnifying glass tilted left power example. A Scorpio woman started a mental health startup focused on men, a niche most people mocked. 5 years later, her company was acquired by a major firm for $18 million. What others laughed at, she turned into legacy. Because she didn't need to be understood, she needed to believe. Gemstone secret number 24. They protect their energy like gold. In Scorpio's world, energy is not just a feeling, it's currency. They know that who and what they allow into their space directly impacts their focus, creativity, and wealth. This is why Scorpio millionaires are masters of saying no without apology, cutting cords with energy vampires, leaving group chats, rooms, deals without guilt. Their peace is more valuable than public approval. Magnifying glass tilted left power move. A Scorpio author once turned down a major publishing deal because the editor tried to reshape her tone. She chose peace over prestige and self-published. Within a year, her book went viral on its own terms. Protect your voice. Protect your energy. Gemstone secret number 25. They use sexual energy as a creative force. Ruled by Pluto and Mars, Scorpio is intimately connected to life force energy, which includes sexuality. But it's not about seduction. It's about transmutation. Millionaire Scorpios know that sexual energy, when not wasted, can be channeled into visionary thinking, magnetic influence, high-performance creativity. They don't chase pleasure, they wield it as power. Magnifying glass tilted left real-world example. A Scorpio designer practiced celibacy for over a year during a product launch. I needed all my energy focused, he said. The result? A viral product line that netted 7 figures in pre-orders. He didn't suppress desire. He redirected it. Gemstone secret number 26. They never reveal all their cards. Even when they win, Scorpios stay silent. They don't brag. They don't overshare. Why? Because true power lives in mystery. They understand that the more people know, the more they can influence. So they protect their plans, ideas, and dreams like sacred rituals. If you think you know everything about a Scorpio, you've only scratched the surface. Magnifying glass tilted left strategic lesson. I once consulted a Scorpio investor who had a brilliant 10-year plan. Only 2 people knew the full scope. Everyone else? Bits and pieces. Why? Because he understood the leverage of information. Scorpio doesn't spill, they steer. Gemstone secret number 27. They are unshakable in chaos. When storms hit, most people panic. Scorpios? They become clearer. It's not because they don't feel fear. It's because they've trained themselves to stay still when the world shakes. They breathe, observe, adapt, and then strike. When others react, Scorpios respond with precision. Magnifying glass tilted left crisis moment. During a market crash, a Scorpio trader stayed up 48 hours straight, calmly restructuring his entire portfolio while others were dumping assets. He walked away with massive profits. Not because he was lucky, because he was level-headed. Gemstone secret number 28. They build legacies, not just wealth. For Scorpio, money is never the goal. It's the tool to build something that lasts beyond them. Their legacy might be a movement, a body of work, a family foundation, a healed ancestral line. Whatever it is, it carries their fingerprint of depth, transformation, and truth. Scorpios don't want to be remembered for being rich. They want to be remembered for being real. Magnifying glass tilted left legacy insight. A Scorpio mentor once told me, my real wealth isn't in my bank. It's in the people I've healed, empowered, and protected. That's Scorpio's true wealth impact. Gemstone secret number 29. They are masters of self. In the end, all the strategies, instincts, silence, and power come down to this one truth. Scorpios master themselves. And that's why they master the game. They know their shadows. They honor their emotions. They refine their focus. They protect their peace. And they rise, again and again, reborn each time. A Scorpio doesn't need the throne. They're the kingdom. Person Lotus position final reflection. Scorpio's millionaire code. So here we are. 29 truths, 29 codes, 29 reasons why Scorpio isn't just another zodiac sign. They are the alchemy of wealth and wisdom, the fusion of fire and water, the quiet architects of empires. While others run from pain, they face it. While others seek applause, they seek alignment. While others play games, they reshape the board. Scorpios don't just build wealth. They become it, an energy, presence, and purpose. And maybe now, you see why the world may never understand them, but it will always be changed by them. Directed call to action, spoken from the heart. If this video stirred something in you, if you recognized yourself in these words, or you simply admire the unstoppable force of Scorpio energy, then let's keep going deeper together. Glowing Star, subscribe to this channel, The Path to Buddhist Wisdom. Because here, we don't just talk about astrology. We awaken ancient truths. We merge mysticism with mastery. And we honor every soul's path to greatness. Hit that bell. Leave a comment. And remember, the most powerful journey is the one within.